Okay, today on the Embroidery to You channel, we're going to embroider the back of some mesh caps. Can it be done? Yes, and there's a couple different ways that you can do it. The one I have in front of you is the one I like, and that is using your fast frame system, 7-in-1 fast frame system, and with sticky back. And I've got a couple of sticky back rolls back there. You can see the black one and the white one. So there's sticky back in black and there's sticky black in white. And this time we got a hoop that I like to use, which is this rounded, it's not really a hoop, it's a frame, and it's a rounded frame by Fast Frames, and this is the best one to use for this. And then we're going to show you another process, which is you can use a 12 centimeter hoop, and that works out good for doing the backs also. Now what I like about this one with the fast frames is basically you can get a logo that's a little bigger, and so it's going to be maybe 5 1/4 or 5 1/2, and you can make it round. So I'll show you that real quick so you can see it on paper. This is the way I like to do it. And there it is right there, and there's a little logo. That's what we're going to embroider on the back of the cap. You'll see that coming up. But this is just the start. Let me show you next. I'm going to show you the setup I have for the 12 centimeter hoop. That's coming up next on the Embroidery to You channel. Okay, here we are. My trusty little setup for doing the back of caps, mesh caps, using the 12 centimeter hoop. And I mean, this doesn't have to be a mesh cap, it could be a regular cap. And so I use my trusty little ironing board. Why? It has a round corner at the front of it, guys. That's cool. Now you can also use a table. Let's say you don't have an ironing board. Most people do, but if you don't, use the corner of a table. That works also. Corner of a table, or this round, which is nice and round, almost perfect for a 12 centimeter hoop. And you can see how I did that. You put your cap right on there. I put in the cap backing, of course. You got the cap backing hooped up. You've got your mesh cap hooped up, and you can see the dimensions are smaller area to use for a logo. In the way of the width, of course. Height, pretty much you can get a decent amount of height in there, but the width itself is smaller than using the 7-in-1 fast frame system with that frame that I showed you. So this are the differences, but these are the two ways to do, and not just mesh caps, but also to do any cap on the back. So these are the two tricks. This is the way to do mesh caps, regular caps, but in this case we're doing mesh caps because you want to see what it looks like to embroider mesh caps and how to do them. So that's coming up next. Let's show you the other setup. I'm going to put a cap onto that other 7-in-1 fast frame, and we're going to do that next. We'll take a look at it on the Embroidery to You channel. Okay, here's the setup with the fast frames. I've already sort of done it so that you can sort of see it. Okay, what I like about the fast frames is there's a little V-notch right here in this fast frame. That's the center. So you're going to line that seam up with that V-notch, and then you're going to just smooth it out the best you can with the sticky back. Now you can also use some little clamps, which I'm using here. These are clamps you can get at Home Depot. Any type of a clamp will work great. Just hold that onto the frame real nice, and once you can see that it's looking good, and then you can take your cutout that you printed out or whatever, you can sort of set it in there like I'm going to do in a second here to show you, and then it's pretty much ready to go over and embroider it, and that's what we're going to do. Here's a cutout that we showed you before, and we're going to embroider that in there like that on the back. Nice big advertising. Nice big advertising. Big curve that goes along the back. And you'll see that when we're all done, but Next step, of course, is just take it to the machine and embroider it. And this is the frame that we're going to use to embroider next on the Embroidery to You channel. We'll just do a one color, white on the black, of this black mesh cap. And that's coming up next on the Embroidery to You channel. Okay, we're at the machine. We are ready to embroider the back of a mesh cap. So remember, we're going to flip it 180 so it's in the right position on our machine and our settings. Or if you have that already set up for some reason you got it flipped already, fine. But make sure you're going in the right direction when you're embroidering it. We're also going to be going from the center out. So that's the way you're going to do it with this logo. Any logo really, you only do in the back or the front. Just center out. And we're going to do that. That's coming up right now. Let's go. Let's start this thing. Let's get it going. Just one color in white. Now if you want to put some topping on there, you sure could do that too. That's all up to you. And the first piece, you're sort of evaluating a little bit. You may want to bring it up or down after you do the first piece and adjust it just a little bit. I've just done a rough spot that I might want to put it in, and then I'll take a look at it, and on the next one might make a little adjustment, move it down just a little bit. So let's see what it looks like after we're done. So we're embroidering on the back of the cap. We're doing it at about 700 RPM. And some people like to use, like I say, a topping. And it isn't bad to use a topping. So don't be afraid to pop a topping on there if you'd like. And you can see the difference with the topping or without the topping. Remember, I have that thin tearaway backing. So, it's a thin backing. If you want some more support, more backing, slip in some backing underneath. That's very simple to do. Before you start, just slip in a piece of backing, tearaway backing, and then you'll have two sheets of tearaway backing back there, right? If you feel like it needs a little more. So that's for evaluation too. I personally am going to try just this one piece of the tearaway, which is the sticky back, and we're going to see how it turns out with that. So we got about a little over 4,000 stitches. 4,200, something in there, to do this big 5 and almost ½ inch round logo to put on the back. So just a quick little embroidery, and you can see mesh caps can be embroidered, and I personally think they're, of course, not as nice. My personal opinion, not as nice as a cap that's not a mesh cap. Has material to it, it's going to look nicer. But sometimes people want the mesh caps, the dad caps, these small caps, but they still want a logo on there. It can be done. And you're going to be able to see it, see the quality that it has on this video. And you can see that it just runs a little differently because it's mesh. It's plastic mesh or whatever the material is that they made the mesh out of it. Sometimes, it could be something else. I'm not a cap manufacturer, but I feel the material, and I know a lot of them are that plastic or nylon. So, in this case, this seems to be like that nylon or plastic. This is a simple little embroidery. And before you know it, we'll be done. So let me come right back in just a little bit, and we'll have this totally done, and we'll take a look at it. Okay, we're finishing up our mesh cap, and we're just about on the last letter. Then we'll take a look at it and see how it did. Just about ready to say it's done. It's done. Okay, there we go. Let's zoom up on it a bit. And there's a nice big advertising ploy for the back of a mesh cap. Works great also, and it'll look even better with your material cap. Remember, these are mesh caps, and to me it looks a little not real clean on the edges because of the mesh and all the holes. So it is what it is, guys. You can't get a mesh cap to look as good as a material cap in the back. That's the bottom line to me. So, but it can be done. So I hope you enjoyed our video. You've seen the different ways to do it. People want it done. You can show them a sample of it like I have right here, and they can see it. And if they want it, of course, do it, because you can make some money off it, and people enjoy seeing cool things. And this is another cool thing you just seen on the Embroidery 2 channel. We'll see you next time, and remember, subscribe to our channel. Have a great day!